Welcome everyone. This is Kari, and I am one of the Consistently Creative crew with Cheryl Bliss and Colleen Day. And I wanted to record a quick video on using the This Life Simple Page Kit number 8 design, using it in Artisan and setting it all up. So I had created a PDF with instructions that have dimensions and everything that you need in order to create this layout. So that is on our Facebook group, which is Consistently Creative Croppers. So here is the layout as Creative Memories designed it. You can see it on this page, and they provide a paper that is a cut apart, and this is what that is. It's 4 pieces that are 4x6 and 4 pieces that are 4x3. And their base paper was like this, where there's this rectangle that's 12x7, another one that's 11x3, and then the background. And then I have the information on what the layout looked like when they were done. So I want to go ahead and show you how to do that in Artisan. So here is my Artisan screen. And I find that it's very easy when you're doing some of these layouts to do one whole page and get it mostly set, and then duplicate that page. And if you need to duplicate it as a mirror image, that's pretty easy to do. And that is what I'm going to do in this case. So I am going to go to a single page screen right now. And so the first thing was there was a rectangle on here that was 12x7. So I'm going to go up to the insert menu, shape rectangle, and I'm going to select the size 12 and 7. And this was that green color that they had. So I'm going to pick this and I'm going to click create. And if you move it over here so it's lined up on the bottom edge of the page, or you can line it with the X and Y coordinates, which are up here at the top, where X is 0 and Y is 5, and that will line it up at the bottom of the page. Then the next shape is another rectangle, and this one is 11 and 3. And this one was yellow. So I'm going to pick the yellow and I'm going to click create. And that one ended up getting right on top of the other one. And you can see here the X coordinate is 1 and the Y coordinate is 2. And that happens to be where this upper left-hand corner of this rectangle is. So that's what that's saying. And the background on the demo sample page that Creative Memories had a light pattern here, but I think when you're all done with this, you're going to do whatever you want with the background. So this is really just a template and a guide. So the next thing I'm going to do is some of those photo mats. So there was one on this page that was 6x4, and that was yellow, and that was going to go down here. And then there was another one that was 4x6, so it was the same thing but on a vertical orientation, and this one was orange, so I'm going to put that here, and that was, can line it up there. And the way they had it lined up is that these were kind of in the middle, lined up horizontally. So we've got this orange mat, and I select the green, and I use the 5th button over, and then they're lined up centered vertically there. And if I line the yellow mat up the same way, and I've got that all set up like that, it's all aligned in this direction. So the other piece that they had was they had another shape that was 3x4. And while they put this one on angle, I find that it is better to just wait until the end before I start angling things, because sometimes when you angle them and you group them and you have to move them, if you resize them, and you've already rotated them a little bit using this green circle at the top, you can't ungroup them. And so I just like to kind of leave them as I'm building my template until I'm all done. So they also had here, this was a matte piece. So they had an additional shape in here that was 2.5 by 3.5. And I'm going to make that white. and that was on top of this, and that was centered here. So I'm going to use the second alignment tool and the fifth alignment tool, and that will align it both top and bottom. And their piece, if I show you again what it looked like on theirs, their piece, I think it might be hard to see here, but you can see it looks like it's actually a double mat. So they've got this orange around the outside, there's yellow here, and then there's white. I know that's really hard to see. You can see that. So what you can do is you can add another layered rectangle here and make it that yellow. So I am going to call it 2.75 and 3.75, and I'm going to make it yellow. And you can do that. So since if I go and I try to line it here, it's now going to be on top. So just a reminder, if you do that, all I have to do is go over into the Elements panel on the left-hand side and drag it below the white. So now I've got essentially what looks like a double mat on the white, which I can use as a journaling block. The other thing that I want to do is I want to go ahead and add the photo frames. So the empty frame on that page, sorry about that. I'm going to get my dimensions back up. So this one should be 5.5 by 3.5. Oh, not on the X and Y. The width is 5.5 and the height is 3.5. And I'm going to go ahead and again use my alignment tool, select both of them. And I've got that. And then I'm going to do another empty frame. And this one's going to be 3.5 by 5.5. And that's a typo. I'll try it again. And now I'm going to line them both back up. Okay, so that pretty much looks a lot like the left side of this 2-page layout. And I'm going to go ahead and save it. And now if I want to go on to making the right side, if I take this and do a mirror image, I'm pretty much going to have set myself up pretty nicely. So I'm going to go ahead. So if I click on this page and I click on the down arrow over here on the right side, it says I've got the option to either duplicate it or insert a mirror image of this page. And I'm going to insert that mirror image. And now I'm going to move them to the correct side. Okay. So now if I look at their layout, the only thing that I need to do, I've got my photo mats, I've got my background, I've got these two bottom pieces. All I need to do is create these photos up on the smaller boxes. So this one is probably very close to the size that I want. I don't need that yellow mat because these weren't double matted. And since I've already got the size here, I'm going to just right click and change the fill and convert it to a photo drop point. And then I don't actually have to go back and add an empty frame and do it again. And since there are 3 of them, I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to copy. And like I've said before, there are multiple ways of doing the exact same thing. So I can go to the home ribbon and copy and then paste. And I can go ahead and align these and then up. And I can do paste again. Again, I'm going to align them. And then I'm going to move them up here. And I'm going to let the alignment helpers help me. The other option when you're trying to copy them is you can go over and you can select copy and paste using it in the element panel, or you can do it by selecting both items and right mouse clicking and you get the copy and paste. So what I want to do right now is set these up. I'm going to group them because I want to get them aligned the way I'd like. My group. And I would like these spaced out evenly across the top. So my alignment here, I can distribute horizontally, and now they're all aligned nicely. So let's show that 2-page view. So here we go. So here it's pretty much set up. And now kind of, I think once you have your photos in here, you can rotate them using the rotation rotation handles, and you can embellish it however you want once you have your photos. But this is a great template, and I think it's really nice because it has 7 photos. And honestly, if you needed to turn, add one more photo over here or turn these into some landscape, larger photos, you can do that. But the background is really nice and very simple and easy to use. So I think this is one that you can use and reuse over and over again. So again, this was Creative Memories, This Life Simple Page Kit number 8. And this was Kari Schick with Consistently Creative Crew. And I hope you enjoyed this, and thanks for watching. Please feel free to drop a comment below. And if you do create a page, we'd love for you to share it on our Facebook group, Consistently Creative Croppers.